All right, welcome back for another edition of Senior Spotlight. Tonight we've got Neela Williamson. Neela, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
A big win tonight, after a really challenging match last week. What was the message coming into tonight playing against Indianola?
Tonight it was just kind of we needed to take care of business to put us in a good position to have some momentum going into the next couple weeks. So coming off a big win, we didn't want to underperform tonight.
Because you got another tough matchup on Friday night, right?
Yeah, another 3A CIML team. So I feel like we've actually played more 3A teams and 2A teams so far, but it's make us better every time.
Yep, I agree. Well, let's start with, first off, what position do you play on the field, and kind of do you primarily play on the field, and what's your main responsibility with that position?
So this year I'm playing the 6, so I'm playing defensive mid, and my duties, I guess, on the field is to distribute play. So I work a lot with my defenders, and then I also have to have the ability to turn on the ball and connect with my 8s and 10s and 9s. So really just being an outlet for anyone to find me during the field.
Is that kind of a different role than you've had in the past? I mean, I know you've played since you were a freshman, so how has that role changed from maybe year to year to year and now that you're a senior?
So for me, it was actually full circle because freshman year I started at the 6, and that's where my high school career actually took off. And then my sophomore and junior year, I was at center back, and now I'm back to the 6. So kind of full circle moment, but I got a chance during my club season this fall to play the 6 and be back in that role a little bit. So I feel like it set me up well for high school this year.
How do you think you connected with your defenders and the 10 and the 8 tonight?
It's definitely something that we've been working on just because we have a lot of new players in different roles all throughout the field after losing 7 senior starters. So I feel like we've definitely grown from the first game to now, and I feel like tonight we did better finding feet out of the back, allowing us to turn, always having an option underneath. So I really feel like we've improved. That's
why I wanted to ask, because we talked about it. We thought you guys controlled the ball really well tonight, so that was great to see. All right, tough question here. Hyper or Starbucks, and what would your drink be?
Hyper every day of the week. Starbucks doesn't even match, and I would recommend a pink power, add pineapple.
Okay, I think we could order that
That's
too.
That's an easy order.
Yeah.
Really for the others.
Okay, all right. What classes are you taking right now? Senior year. You're on the home stretch, a month left roughly or so. What are you taking for classes right now?
So I do school to work, and I'm working in the communications department with AJ. So that takes up my morning, and then I only have one class, and that's AP Comp.
Okay. Wow. So, but back to the school to work. What are you doing in that position?
So for communications, he does a lot with media stuff, and so that's kind of what I'm looking for my next chapter in college. So I get to do a lot of graphic design work. So I get to do senior spotlight stories. So I've done podcasts with that, videos, written articles, and I don't know. I feel like I've just touched a lot of different topics and different sections of what life in media could be like.
Cool.
So then, playing off of that, what are your future plans? Where do you plan to go to school, and then what do you want to major in?
I'm going to the University of Iowa to study sports broadcasting and journalism.
Okay. Well, I think that's a pretty good school to do that, isn't it?
Yes.
I think so.
Some pretty well-known broadcasters out of there.
What is it about the communication and the sports side that you really like, or that has drawn you to that? So.
I've always been involved in sports, and I just not playing college sport. I still wanted to really connect to that, and then public speaking and just communicating with the audience and telling a story is something that that has always intrigued me and something that's come easy. So it was something that was easy to combine my two passions and just really dive into.
Cool. If we asked your parents on a scale of 1 to 10, how clean would your room be? A 10 is clean and a 1 is not. What would they say?
Right now, a 0. But
that wasn't an option. It's 1 or 10.
1, then not clean right now. But it's a busy time. But,
Busy with classes.
With classes.
Right?
but hey, you got soccer, graduate. It's a busy time. But on a good day, maybe a 6.
Okay. All right. That's fair. At least you're honest, right? Is it true that your dad is like a DJ or in a band?
He's both.
He's in both. Okay. Have you ever gone to a gig of his?
Oh, yes. So he's in, shout out Faculty Lounge. He's in an all-teacher band, and they perform all over, usually during the summer. But he's also a DJ for
Okay.
like weddings and dances. Does
Alright.
a great job.
So then would your hype music be something that he plays then? Is that what you listen to?
I mean, if we could get it hooked up, that'd be a great idea. We need to figure out how to do that.
All right. You heard it, Mike. We'll get the faculty lounge hooked up for Neela's hype music. No, but what song, would you listen to either on the way to the field here or when you guys are warming up? What's your pump up song, or what do you like to listen to get going for the game?
I'm probably more of like your calm music because I'm like already really antsy. So I don't know. I love Luke Combs. I feel like he's really calming. Or I don't know, Billie Eilish. They're both like really calming artists that I probably listen to the most.
Okay. All right, that's fair. What has been your favorite soccer moment or experience so far in the last 4 years, or 3.5?
I've had a great high school soccer experience. I don't know. State last year was just like different because the girls like really made an effort to like kind of like dedicate a lot of like the accessories and like the hair pieces and the shirts like to my mom as she was like going through her breast cancer battle. So I feel like that one is just like always hold a special place in my heart. But and the championship game was just like we had so much energy going into that game. We just like had a full head of steam, and I just don't think we were about to be stopped. So that was like such a good feeling.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We've got to watch from the sideline, right, Charles?
Yes, it's very enjoyable. So playing off that a little bit, so you started as a freshman. This is something as a fan and my daughter, you play with my daughter, just noticed that you were right away on the field like a vocal leader, even as a freshman. Is that kind of a role that you thought maybe when you came in, like I'll step in here and be this? And where do you get that from? Because we notice it on the field. You're such a leader out there with the girls, always encouraging them and just always communicating with your teammates. So where does that come from, or how did you feel that you need to step into that role?
I would say the communication part definitely probably comes from my dad because he's a big believer in just like the more communication you have and like the ability to give direction, like you not only like earn respect from your teammates, but it limits the team's mistakes. And communication can help you in any situation. And I'm also a big believer in all my sports, like negativity doesn't help any situation, so why do it? So I just feel like if I can like exert like all positive energy, then it'll like limit or make it harder for people to be negative. So that's something that I really pride myself on ever since like freshman year, because I knew it's something that has and like would make me like stand out beyond like other freshmen. And I do think it like a little bit like played into my advantage. Just people know that like when I'm directing traffic that I like know what I'm talking about. Like I know like how to direct you and like how to do it in a respectful manner.
Well, that's probably one quality that might be missed more than just your on-field play, because you do an excellent job out there.
Thank you.
Yeah, really great. Well, last question here. Again, we've had a ton of success over the last few years. What advice do you have for the kids that are coming up, whether they're in the program now or they're going to be coming into the program in the next few years? What advice do you have for those young girls that are coming in to be part of the DCG Mustangs?
I would say just enjoy it. It really does go by so fast, and like some of these girls will genuinely be your best friends, and you'll have the most fun on the field that you'll have like not in your life, but in your high school experience will probably be right on the field with your best friends, and then continue to work hard. Like if a game doesn't go your way or you take a wrong touch, like your positive mindset will always cancel those out.
All right, great. Well, that's great advice from you, Neela. We wish you all the best on the rest of the season. We look forward to calling a few more home games here as well, and we wish you the best in the future at Iowa.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck, Neela.
Thank you.
Go Mustangs.